You've got to get one of these to go dinghy cruising, and it's not a printer. I was meant to be sailing up at Mire Lakes this week, catching up with Libby with her Sharpie, who was going to come down from Toowoomba, and Trevor with his Drascombe lugger, who was going to come down from Mount Tamborine. But the weather has turned pear-shaped, so we've delayed it for about the next 5 days. The last time I caught up with Libby was over a year ago, when she came down to Pittwater to sail with her brother Kim. I've been wanting to make some improvements to my galley box for a while, and now seems to be a good time. I've also found an alternative to my dehydrator, which I've used to prep cruising meals for the last 4 years. I'll show you both of those later. Last week when the sun was shining, I was up at Lake Macquarie. Hi, I'm back at Lake Macquarie at the Classic Boat Association boat shed up here at Rathmines to see Steve's build of the Selway Fisher Ptarmigan. So Steve, last time I was up here, you hadn't done any painting, some of the deck wasn't on. What have you done since I was last here?
Well, all the deck's on. We've got the coamings on, stern post for the tiller, portholes are done. I bought plastic ones because they're just way cheaper than I've made some ramps to go around them, because you have to take the curve of the boat into consideration. You can't just put a flat. 2 rectangular ones, one on the side and a round one forward. Cabin floor and bunk are done.
The flooring is all hoop pine and the craftsmanship is amazing. And Steve only has a bunk on one side as he intends to dinghy cruise overnight alone. So he's utilising the extra space for a bit of luxury, like a deck chair in the cabin.
Forward part of the cabin roof's on.
So you've got your cleat mounts added.
They're teak that one of the old shipwrights brought in.
Coaming, what's that made from?
Spotted gum, best timber you can use.
Easy to bend?
Oh, that bend was easy, yeah. It's 2 pieces laminated, and the bit across the transom is 1 piece.
Got the aft deck on, that wasn't there before.
No, that was a big step.
And have you made all your bell crank system for the tiller?
Process, I've got most of the machining done.
Still haven't drilled holes in the transom which it has to connect?
No, I have to have a few good stiff scotches and a lot of thinking before I do that.
You can't make a mistake on that one.
No.
You've got some very nice blue cushions there.
Yes, I bought off the shelf ones and built the boat to fit them. Yep, a lot cheaper than buying bespoke ones.
I was going to say your sewing skills look really good.
I can sew,
yeah,
but not to display.
So what are you putting along the edge of the seats?
We've got a spotted gum fiddle just to hold the cushions on.
Oh yes, that'd be nice. Paint makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, it really sort of lifts it and ties it all together.
That's just the undercoat.
Yeah. I'm waiting for some hardening for the 2-pack that I've got for it. Once that comes, I'll paint it.
And then what, 1 or 2 coats of that?
Should be 2.
And then that's the painting done?
The cabin interior is just the undercoat. I'm not going to do anything more with it because it's just a low sheen white and it's suitable for top use.
So the inevitable question, it was meant to be Easter, we've passed Easter now.
I did specify, I didn't know which year.
Which year, yes, I take that on board. But surely it's not going to be next year's Easter.
We're looking at a couple of months.
A couple of months.
Take it home and fiddle with all the rigging to get it right. So that's something that will be done at home.
Fantastic.
As Steve's build is getting closer to the end, the boat shed is just starting on a Hartley 16. But outside, the association is celebrating the completion of a very big project.
We acknowledge the Gazelle family, represented here today by Julie and Anthony. And we have Joan here, the wife of Carl, who originally built the boat in 1964. Sadly, Carl had passed away, and they were looking to see what they could do with the hull of the boat. So Nick and I went over to have a look at it at Valentine at Joan's place, and it was in the garage there, up on a couple of timber workhorses, sitting at about that height, just sitting there in the middle of the garage. And you know, we were pretty impressed when we saw it. But it was decided the ideal engine was a 350 small block Chev. Once we had that engine, then we could really start to plan the boat.
And thus started a 5-year journey by the association to finish building this boat. And what a job.
A major milestone in it was working out where to drill the hole through the boat. Alfred built over 70 boats in his day. And he said, well, look, the only way to do this, you need to turn the boat upside down and drill it from the outside in.
This is rhythm 3, and the suggestion was that we donate it to the family as a memory for the family's original. I'd like you to take that.
He would be so proud that basically he had the small little start, but let's be quite straight. You guys have done most of the work here. This is actually your invention, really. So fantastic piece of work, guys. I'm personally just thrilled by it. Just brilliant work. Really, really good stuff. Bless this boat and all who sail on it. I would like to present the new owners with this certificate of ownership for Rhythm 2.
The great thing about the Classic Boat Association at Rathmines on Lake Macquarie is that there are restorations and new builds going on all the time.
Jeff, this is the guillemot for the William IV steamship up at Newcastle. How's the build going?
It's going very well, Paul. We've done 6 planks on either side. We've got 2 planks to go, number 7 and number 8. Number 8's called the whiskey plank.
Why is it called the whiskey plank?
It's a traditional thing. You have a small draft of whiskey when you've got the last plank on. Cause for celebration.
I've got to build a boat.
I guess it's a traditional thing, but it sounds like a good idea.
When it's finished, it will look like this model of the guillemot, which was started by the guys a couple of months ago.
Hold that on your gun and clamp it. Hold that on your gun and clamp it, then mark the inside.
The craftsmanship in building these models is fantastic, but it doesn't always go to plan.
These are the plans for the Daikin longboat, but you're having a few issues bending the planks for the model, aren't you?
It's turning out to be quite difficult because the bow is actually shaped like a barge. It's a very blunt bow, and it's going to take quite a bit of work to work out exactly how to do it.
Here's another model of Rhythm 2, the speedboat we saw earlier. The last time I was at the shed, a 10-foot strip-planked kayak was beginning to take shape. Look at it now. It must have taken hours to bend and glue the strips of Polonia, which is similar to balsa wood and grown in East Asia. The timber acts as a foam sandwich between the inner and outer layers of fiberglass. Next it'll be flipped over and they'll start on the deck. I can't wait to see that. Back to the galley box improvements, and I've bought a bigger, better burner.
So the advantage of this one is it's got much bigger pan supports. It's much more stable, whereas the one I used to have when I went kayaking had a much smaller supports, and whenever boats went past this could actually fall off, so I had to make some sort of other support to stop it falling off. So the difference in size between that and that is huge. So it should be a lot more stable. Also, this works on both types of gas canisters and cylinders. There is a difference in size. That was the one I had when I used to go kayaking. Small is great. This one's much bigger, but I think I'm going to leave it permanently attached to the bottom of the galley box. Well, you've probably guessed it by now. It's a vacuum sealer. Nothing new about that, but it is new to me. I got this one from Kmart for about 60 bucks. Cut the included roll to the length you need. Put in your pre-cooked meal, and I've frozen it, and in this case it's a cottage pie. I've taken off the frozen corners just in case it pierces the bag. And yes, you guessed it, I'll add the dead potato on the night. Make sure you've got the bag square and then place the ends into the open vacuum trough and then hit the button. Manual seems to work better to suck out the air, and then hit the seal button. And don't forget to label it. Thanks for watching Sailing Kate Louise, and I'll see you on the water somewhere next time. Hopefully Mire Lakes next week when it stopped raining.